Just call him. 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 Something happens. Something happens. Something happens. Yeah. The reason why I know it is because something is happening right now. Something is happening right now. I feel it, y'all. I feel his presence. I feel his presence. I feel his anointing. Because there's something about that name. Something about that name. I call him. Everything I need, all my every need, all my every need. When I call you. When I call you. Oh, come on, praise him in this place. Come on, praise him in this place. Come on, praise him in this place. He's worthy, he's worthy, he's worthy. Wow. What about y'all? I felt that. Hallelujah. But he stepped in. Can we lift our voice and say it? He kept. Woo. Say, he kept me. Come on, say, I'm so glad. He kept. One more time, say, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. He kept me. Come on, say, oh yeah. He kept me. Oh, he kept me safe. When I was lost, you kept me. Come on, can you testify? Oh yeah. Yeah. Lord, you kept me.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO.
We're about to come on.
Into the studio, our host, Brenda Sutton.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
And how's everybody? Hey, Jimmy, what's the word, Mockingbird? Don't be acting shy. You don't act shy.
Tune us in.
How y'all doing today?
We're on the air now. Okay.
Well, I know.
No, not today. It's in the car. The cowboy hat is in the car.
And Janet,
Southwest Patriots lost in the state championship game.
But
I was there, and I told them if they won, I was gonna be like, yeah. But I told them I'm Central Charger to the bone, baby. Yeah. If they lose, I'm gonna give it to them, and I gave it to them.
But you know what though? I'm so proud.
We're so full in there, man.
We are so proud. We're so proud of our Southwest Patriots.
Oh, we are.
Congratulations.
And the Northeast Raiders for getting to the state football championship as well.
Right. And we're proud of our peoples. I really am.
Oh, absolutely. I always tell people if they're not playing Central, I'm pulling for you if you're from Macon.
But as long as they from Macon, I don't deal with sports and stuff that much, but I just want to say, that's just awesome. Mm-hmm. What you up to, Emily?
Just living and surviving.
All right.
You know what?
Oh, she's singing Good Time song.
Uh-huh. Hey, we lucky we got them.
Good time.
Hey, and I'll be with Michael from Good Times. We do a show March 28th.
Oh, yeah.
In Petersburg, Virginia. And then on the 29th at Coppin State University.
Because he wear that little hat and stuff now.
His hair, he got dreads that are like,
you know, he got like because he just like real Afrocentric and stuff.
He is.
He got locks.
And he's very, very educated in Afrocentricity. He's a very bright guy. Yeah, very bright guy.
You know, you know what? And I kind of wanted to talk about this because Johnny talked about one of the people that was with him on one of the shows, and they were talking about the Edwin Pettis Bridge, right? Wasn't it him, the guy that was up there and they put the water hose on him?
Oh yeah, that was Mr. James Alexander.
Well, you know where I went this weekend, right?
You went to
Alabama? I went to Alabama.
You went to Selma?
I went to Selma, Alabama. And Johnny, I
did you go to the coffee shop?
No, I went across the bridge.
That's what I'm saying. The coffee shop is right.
No, I didn't do
there.
I ain't do no coffee shop. I ain't do none of that. I went across the bridge. Okay?
Hey, you next time go to that shop is a historic marker because it was so segregated and the blacks had to stand in the window. The only way they could get served. And now a black female owns that shop.
I don't know if she was open. I'm just simply saying that I went there, Emily. I took Denver. There were so many people that went there to, for that.
To reenact it.
And well, they didn't reenact the dogs in the water hole. So
no,
they ain't do that.
Can't do that.
But anyway, Emily, it was
but if we're not careful.
It was so surreal because I don't know how many thousands of people, but the news media had it like, just like sporadic people were there. But I'm telling you, it was packed when I was there. I mean, the whole bridge was full. You know what I mean? Got going across. I do know that Jesse Jackson was there, Al Sharpton, Maxine Waters, Miss Black USA was there. And it was just really interesting. I saw all kind of groups. Let me tell you something. You know what? Them Masons know they was looking good.
They do.
Them Masons had their skirts on. I mean, what it not the skirt, what the apron.
That's called regalia.
They had on their regalia with all of the stuff on. But they had, but let me tell you, my daddy was a 33 and a half Mason. But they had
33 degree.
33 and a half, I think is what he was.
Okay.
They do have 33, but I think they, some of our Masons out there, give us a call in, shout in. That number, call in is 478-250-1444.
That is correct.
478-250-1444.
It took us 7 years to learn it.
That is correct.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Hallelujah.
Click, 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 click,
Hallelujah.
Hit like and share for
Hit like and share.
the All of a Sudden show on the Facebook page.
But if it's any Masons out there, I need y'all to see. I think there's a 33 and a half. It may not be, but I know my daddy was one of the
Some of you brothers out there standing on the square, give us a call.
Yeah. And but it was so surreal, Emily, to walk across that bridge and know the history of it. And it just really dawned on me. 65, I was like what, 7 going on 8 years old. And that was
you was 20? No, go ahead.
I was a little girl. I was over there at LH Williams.
Wow.
During that time. And I'm like, wow, that was really just it was an interesting thing. But you have to love our people, okay? Because they had the food trucks out there, Emily, and they was out there, they had some ribs and they were selling ribs and greens. I said,
of course they were.
Ribs, green, fish, you name it, they had it. It was just really a good experience. I was going to say, Johnny, for some reason, I got a sense of what it was like with that water hose and putting that water hose on them people.
Yeah. There was some people out there you could have talked to that felt that.
Yeah, they had some, they would push them in wheelchairs and golf carts. And
yeah, should have been over and talked to some of them.
Yeah, it was some
they probably were riding around in those vehicles.
Yeah, because some of them were, Jesse wearing Pampers and he in his wheelchair. What? Jesse
Johnny. Nope. Look.
I know.
What? He went.
She's been waiting the whole show to say that. She's been waiting 2-3 days to say that.
No, I ain't been waiting no 2 or 3 days to say that.
Is he in a wheelchair for real?
Yeah, he in a wheelchair, and
But just for the record, she is allegedly saying that he is in Pampers. We do not know that for sure.
He wear pull-ups. They got the old people pull-ups.
I'm not doing this. It's too early to show. Where's my keys?
No. Johnny.
Don't rope Johnny into your foolishness today.
Johnny be trying to be roped into my foolishness. Johnny, let me ask you something. I want to know what's a good pickup line for old. What old women then gave you a pickup line? You know you were talking about it earlier with Buster Matt.
But just before we leave, the Selma conversation.
Okay, all right.
That you were at, it was March 9th, 2025. Was the Selma it was the reenactment.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the reenactment, and I do see some pictures here. We've got right here with people pushing the folks on that in the wheelchair.
Yeah, they did. I told you.
Yeah, and some real important folks were out there with you yesterday, Brenda.
You know, we took a bus up there, and it was so many buses up there. I mean, because I went over there where they had the gospel explosion, where they had the food truck. I was hungry.
Well, and you know what's interesting is, I know it's probably the white part, white side of you, but you didn't tell Johnny, you didn't tell me, you didn't tell Mr. Jackson, you didn't tell Jimmy you were going.
He didn't.
We just saw you on Facebook. I said, "Oh, Brenda trying to hoard the blackness to herself." Yeah. If that's not a Caucasian thing to do.
Well, y'all know that. See,
the Caucasity.
So you were there. Hakeem Jeffries and Maxine Waters. Raphael Warnock.
I saw Maxine.
Sharpton.
I saw Maxine, and I saw looked like Jesse was on one of the golf carts. I didn't see Hakeem. But if I had seen him, I'd have said something to him, call him mad.
Was Al Sharpton walking, or was he in a wheelchair?
Now, he real short. He got a big head.
Yeah, he do, because he lost all that weight. So
he made him look
like a bobblehead.
He does. He got all that. And then he still, he got that little process. Oh, come on, y'all. You know what? Let me tell you something about my family. Every time we see a good opportunity for a joke, we be saying it.
No, that's you. Every time you see it, you want to be messy.
Well, my cousin.
She has a doctorate.
Mm-hmm. My cousin wrote a book, Bernice. And if y'all hadn't firstborn girls, and my cousin Bernice McFadden wrote a book about her memoirs and stuff like that, and so she put my cousin in it. I'm going to the mess right here. Mm-hmm. So my cousin was mad. She was real mad, Johnny. She was like, how dare she put my daddy in there? What she gonna be talking about? My daddy, talking about incest and all of that stuff. And then my cousin called me today, said, "No, sir, I thought you were going to come over and get the DNA test." She said she ain't get a DNA test because she don't know if they're her dad or not. So she ain't going to be doing that stuff right there. She ain't going to do it. I would like,
have mercy.
Help me, Jesus.
Look, listen, let me just one more thing. You were at this event yesterday.
Yeah.
And Sheann Webb Christberg was 8 years old when the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Attempted to lead hundreds in a march from Selma to Montgomery in March of 1965 for voting rights in America. Mm-hmm. And soon after that, after what they call Bloody Sunday, in the march from Selma to Montgomery, this lady on the 60th anniversary said that she thinks voting rights are in peril. Back in the 60s, we fought to gain the right to vote. She said in the interview, today in 2025, we are still fighting to hold that right to vote through the John Lewis voting right. And she said, that's sad.
But by the way, I think it's good that she said, but she's about the same age as me. And the truth be told, Emily had an experience with the voting rights. Emily could not get her vote. She could not get her vote in. Why? Because there was like, we talk about voter suppression. A lot of times people don't even understand what it is. So I've learned from you, Johnny, part of the problem that we have, and I'm going to just say as a people, is that we won't tell people we don't understand things.
Yeah.
We just won't say it, and then we pretend like we know.
Yeah.
It is serious. As for and I can preach it all day. It's serious. It's this. It's that. Da. But I know for a fact Emily tried to register. Am I lying on you, Emily?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. I know she did as well.
And she could not register. So the thing that people
wouldn't let me register in the state of Georgia, period, and didn't give me an excuse. Well, it gave me a bunch of different excuses, and I tried in every county that I'd lived in Georgia. I tried Clayton County. I tried Henry County, I tried Putnam County, I've tried in Bibb, and I tried in Houston. And each one, ironically, each one of them gave me a different excuse. But the main excuse I kept getting was, which was the strangest one, is my ID that they had me upload. My ID and driver's license number didn't match what they had on file. I've only had one driver's license, and I got my license in Clayton County when I was 18, when I first moved to Atlanta. And I don't know what they talk about. My driver's license has never changed.
Right.
They said that my picture, like when I uploaded my driver's license, it said it did not match what they had on file.
And by the way,
I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know. And for people that don't understand how bad it is, Emily was on CNN. Were you not? How many times? How many times? Five times on CNN, talking about voting and talking about Trump and Biden, and then Trump and Harris. Talked about that, but yet and still, we probably need to reach back out to them. I think I still have their information. I would be interested to know how many people out there tried to register to vote and could not vote.
I think that's worth pursuing.
It's something to talk about. But Johnny, that's interesting that she talk about. Yeah, it's just as bad today as it was yesterday. Something was going on down there in Warner Robins. Can somebody kind of look and see what was going on at Publix and Warner Robins?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you pull that up? Jimmy's our resident social media guy.
Pull up and
Can you pull up and see what happened at the Publix on 96? I think they said it was an armed shooter.
But I don't want to say, we're going to say alleged. We got to say alleged armed shooter.
Today?
Alleged.
Yeah.
Just what, about a couple of hours ago?
I was talking to, what is Virginia's last name?
Sharp.
Virginia Sharp, and she's with this particular organization, which we want to have her on next week, where she's talking about hospice care.
Yeah, she's going to be joining us next Monday. So you guys make sure you tune in for that show next Monday. And she's going to be talking about the different programs under hospice care. She'll definitely go into detail about some of the things that are available to us and our people that we are unaware, because one of the main things, I think one of her most important platforms is when we hear the word hospice, we automatically get scared. We think hospice means, the end, the person has 2 or 3 days left, but she has so many resources and so much information available. And us not really understanding what hospice provides. They have palliative care, like they have so many different programs under the hospice umbrella that we can actually qualify, or our loved ones can qualify for free or for no cost whatsoever to us, none at all. So she'll be joining us next Monday. Super excited about that, because when each one should teach one, and our people need to be aware of this care so that we're not abusing our elderly, we're not abusing the sick loved ones, and our loved ones that have a short amount of time to go, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 days, or 6 months. They have the proper care that they need.
Absolutely. Hey, Sheila, what's up? Let me just say this. The reason why I reached out to them, my cousin, Julia, I'm all about my family. And my cousin, Julia, made mention to me, Brenda, I'm just really upset with my mother being in the nursing home, Johnny. And, you look for, we've been talking about resources to help people that are out there. And I reached out, and she told me about this. And so I was like, well, darn, don't nobody even know. I didn't even know that. And you know how much it costs? Nothing. Not one dime. And the first, I brought up Johnny. I was like, Johnny was searching, trying to find things for his brother and stuff like that. Do you know that they could have helped you with some stuff and you didn't know? I didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know. And the information that she was giving us, and we talked about your beloved brother Bruce, RIP, and the services that would have been available for him had we known,
we didn't know.
You would have, the issues that you had gone through, you would have never had to go through any of that. And it's the crazy thing is it has no cost attached to you, which is insane.
And you would have gotten $1,800 a month to stay at home with your brother.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
it's
plus you
crazy.
would have gotten care to help him, like the
Mhm.
doctors coming in and, Ralph Austin is with them. Dr. Ralph Austin is their
Uh-huh.
doctor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when I found out about it, I was like, you were the first. And then not only that, I tell you what else they have. They have, and she'll be able to tell you, more about it in detail. But I was just like, nobody told me.
Mhm.
Nobody said anything about it. And I know there are some people that are out there that are listening that like, what can I do? And I want to make sure that they know about this one, because I definitely want to make sure that my mother you know what, now here Denver is grandma on air now. Denver wanna, that's what happened when you have grandchildren. I look here.
Diva wants it, and she wants it now.
You know how y'all do. You know how she do. That's why they call me grandmama, grandmother. But anyway, Johnny, I thought about you specifically. And one of the things that I thought was really neat, and I know that you need it, and I'm not like in your business, but I am. But is that they'll even provide for you after the person transitions. They'll provide you with 13 months of post care, like counseling and all of that stuff, where you can see where they come in. And I was like, how many people do we know that have had people who transitioned who needed to be able to share and to let people know how they're doing and all? I mean,
yeah, that's good. The place that Bruce passed in hospice in Atlanta, they are reaching out. They've been reaching out all along too, telling me I could come in and talk and for therapy and that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's good stuff.
but these people come to your house, Johnny. They meet you where you at, and I know that
I probably don't be cleaning up enough.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm just teasing.
You know
Almost
what?
said something.
But I think we've been talking about it on the air, and I just about finding resources and things like that. But I just wanted to kind of
Now, I'm gonna share this. Did y'all making me think about this conversation? I was around today, and I think this is maybe one day we'll get around to something like this, talking about that when a parent gets ill, right, to the point where you start like having to accept they're in their demise, right, and they've got a new husband or a new wife, but they got a child. Today, the example today was, and certainly I'm not calling names. I don't think nobody knows what I'm talking about. But certainly today was this woman, really beautiful lady, wonderful lady, spiritual and all that, married to a husband. He's going through Alzheimer's and dementia. And his daughter has one daughter who was spoiled. So he had this one daughter who makes really good money, but she was spoiled by him. And so the last 3-4 years, he's been declining, and his health, she really doesn't like accept it. And you can clearly see she's not accepting it, the real. And the mom would call her sometimes, say, hey, come over and help out. But the daughter really can't push herself to like do the bathing and stuff and that kind of stuff. But she's concerned about the paperwork though. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so then there's this barrier that exists because now the daughter is so cautious and wondering if the stepmom, quote unquote, is telling her dad to change some stuff that he had put in place for her before he got married. But the dad has told her before in the past, look, now, that was the way it was before I got married, but this is my wife. And this is my wife. You still my daughter.
All right.
But now this is my wife. And your place has been moved to second place because she's number one. And so watching
now that is interesting. That is a very interesting, conversation.
Watching those dynamics, it was something to see. Because I'm sitting there listening, I'm going, Johnny, wow, this is a powder keg.
Because a lot of people fight about that. A lot of people go back and forth on who should be place first? Should your children come first, or should your wife? You have a half the people say my wife comes first, period, point blank. And then I've heard other men say, no, my children. It don't matter how old they are, my children come first, their needs come first. So that's an interesting dynamic.
See, that's when
And
you
by the
need that come with that evenly yoke thing,
But you know
because of
what?
your spiritual beliefs come into play.
Hey, you know what, Johnny? Now, here we go. For somebody who living it, because I'm living it,
Okay.
you know, Henry is my husband. When Henry gets sick, who take care of him?
You.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Not them cheering.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got to say about that. And I understand what the children may believe, that, you know, their daddy or whatever is, you know, was going to leave them XYZ and that they were in charge and stuff like that. But
It's the natural order of things, though, that the wife or the husband becomes first, and then what
Because
the biggest
they're supposed to be as one.
that's my point.
But
And then what the problem becomes, that I noticed is that the kid creates an angst. The kid makes them be foes, the new parent and themselves be foes, and they're really, the new parent really is on that kid's side.
Hold on, Johnny. Somebody want the phone number again. Please call in that number.
478-250-1444. 478-250-1444.
And Johnny, that is just, and yeah, you're right. You have to put it in black and white. And this is why I tell people, you know, Henry, I keep his will available, you know, his power of attorney, his medical power of attorney, and then the other, I keep it, because, you know, we have to have it, because you don't ever know when them grown children are going to come up and try to tell you how to run your business.
Yeah.
And you're the one that's taking care of them. Now, I'm one of the ones that believe that when he married me, the children are over there. My children are too.
Yeah.
It's just not, you know what I'm saying? It's just not his children. It could be my children that's going to invade and tell Henry. They can't tell Henry what to do concerning me, because I'm Henry's wife.
And they can't tell you what to do concerning him.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Now, it makes, and that's why you need to put things, as you say, in black and white. That phone number again is 478-257-1444.
No, it's 250.
Oh, there you go. What I'm doing.
478-250-1444. See, I gave a kudos too quick.
You did.
But you know what?
Dementia.
Now, this thing right here upsets me, because I have seen it. Johnny, I'm glad you brought it up. Let me tell you how dirty these children are.
Oh, Lord.
These children will wait till somebody gets sick in the house. You better, and I bet you they can attest to that. They'll wait, you know, daddy gets sick. Oh, hello, caller. How are you? Hey, caller.
You got your radio turned down?
Hello.
Hello, Miss Williams. How are you?
Good.
I wanted to comment. This is Alicia, and I wanted to comment on the what Brother Hollingshed was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that what should happen with this, and I guess because I was talking to a family of a different race, they both had been married, and they both had children. And what their decision was to do was, whatever they were going to give their children, they were going to go ahead and give their children whatever they was going to give them before they got married. So whatever was left, then if anything happened to him or anything happened to her, it was already taken care of. And I thought that was a very good choice, a decision to make, is that when you moved on with your life, go ahead and give your children what you're going to give them, so that when something happens, there's no arguments or any confrontation about who should get what, because we've already settled that before we got married. And it's settled now that after whoever has to take care of one another. So those were my comments for that.
That was very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alicia. That was great.
I got a feeling, though, if that method is applied, and the dad and the husband give all these kids all the stuff, he probably won't be getting married, because she gonna be like, he ain't got nothing no more.
Get him, Alicia.
I mean,
get him.
Well,
Alicia.
I didn't say get it. I didn't say give it all to them. I said give them their part.
She said, don't give it all to him.
I said give them that part because he do have to. I mean, well, he or she do have to live now.
You know, you're
So,
right. I think
I was fortunate enough when my father passed away. He had remarried. He had married, and she passed away before him. But everything that he had was, was left to his children, and there was no dividing there. And he was adamant he was not going to marry again. That was his wife, and he was not going to marry again. So, and his thing was he would not do a will though. He would not do a will because he would not do a will. And the only thing he said was everything go 50-50. But he would not do a will. But that's the best thing that I would say. If you remarry again, if you have children, go ahead and give them what you're going to give them. If you got an insurance policy, go ahead and have it willed to them, and they'll have it when you leave here.
Thank you. Be blessed, Alicia. Thank you. That's great comment.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Cookie, how are you? I that right there, I think that one of the things that and this is just to add on to it, when you're older and you're in a relationship, most of us that are older have resources that we come on with. Johnny got his house. You've got your business. You've got things that is, you coming in with your stuff. But now I'm gonna tell you, I like what she said about the children, but go ahead and do it. But still, it's a problem.
That was a very interesting take. Very, very educated point of view there.
Hey, you know what? Another thing popped up. I guess I've seen it, several times. When it comes to like the hierarchy of
Emily.
husbands, wives, children, girlfriends, etc. And Jimmy probably could chime in on this. What do y'all feel if, say, for instance, if Jimmy comes to pick me up, is the mother supposed to be in the front seat, or the girlfriend supposed to be in the front seat, or the wife?
Wife in the front seat, mama in the back.
So, Jimmy, what do you think?
I'm not married, so
He just threw shade. But you know what though? I was going to say this. Now this is what my challenge is right now with the hierarchy. Y'all know I'm trying to get mama out of the nursing home, right? Mama gonna come home and stay with me. I love Henry, but I love my mama. So what if Henry was to say no, that my mama couldn't come home and stay with, because you're supposed to leave your family and go to your husband? So what would you think? If he said no, she couldn't come.
Well, I think that's very good and very deep. I think that would definitely be an issue because
I have a real life. It's so odd.
It's so much.
I'm putting it out here.
Oh, no, dig this. It is so odd that you would say that, because one of my dearest friends that we went from being 17 together to I'm 64 now, and we have
I thought
never
she was 70.
We've never lost contact with one.
Right.
We are like, I've been, his folks know me,
right?
My folks know them, all this. Presently, right now, he's been talking to me, trying to get a grip on how do I communicate with my wife that our house has become a hospital. We don't have a living room anymore.
Okay.
Because there are stairs in the house where the bedrooms are. She can't get up there.
Who, the wife or the mom?
The wife's mother.
Okay.
So now the living room has become
a
hospital room. Smell like hospital, smell like sickness. And he loves his wife and loves his mother-in-law. But that ain't the place for her. Like, she needs to, I want to put my mom in no nursing home. That thing. But he's not insensitive to the fact that she would like to be caring for a mom, but they got kids,
Johnny,
and they have turned the whole house down
Johnny,
to the mother's convenience.
Uh-huh.
And he don't want to divorce his wife. He don't want to
Uh,
argue with his wife. He don't
Mhm.
want to fuss with her. But that ain't where he wants her to
let me-
be.
let me just-
And he don't want to be
he-
looked at as a mean, evil
he-
man.
Yeah, let him finish.
because
Hold on.
He
Uh-huh.
don't want to be taken as a
Right.
mean, evil man because he wants his house back.
Yeah.
And he don't feel like that's good for not just for him,
Yeah.
but for
For
everybody.
the children
It's
too.
not the best thing for her to be there. And he
Mhm.
is in turmoil right now,
Wow.
trying to figure out
Mm.
how to communicate this with his wife and not lose his marriage. Because it's to that point.
That's
Oh, wow.
selfishness. Now I'm gonna say this about me.
Selfish on whose part? The wife or the husband?
Oh, the wife. Now,
Uh-huh.
and
But
the
it's
reason-
two strong points of view for
but-
either
but-
one of
but
them.
let me just tell you. Let me just give you an example of why. You've been to my home. Mama going downstairs in the
Mhm.
bedroom downstairs, and she ain't gonna be able to walk upstairs. But
Mhm.
that's where she's going to be because it's not fair to Henry. And I
Mhm.
love my husband. It's not fair to Henry, and it's not fair to Denver for Mama to be on the main floor because it would look like a hospital room. It would
Mhm.
smell like a hospital room. It's going to do all of that. So I'm just saying the compromise there is she just going to have to pick
Needs
a room.
to be in her own room.
She need to be in her own room.
Hello,
So-
caller.
Hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, this Leon. How you doing?
Hey,
Good.
brother Leon.
Hey.
I mean, didn't he take a vow, rich or poor, better for worse?
Yes.
So what's the problem?
Well,
Well, he said all of that to his wife, not to his wife's mom.
It doesn't matter, Emily.
Why not?
My advice here. Wait a minute, hold on. All right. My advice to him is get the hell over it and do what he got to do. Now, when me and Sheila got married April 14th, 1990. Okay. The day before our wedding, Sheila mama had a stroke. Okay. We bought a house at 2709 Hillcrest Avenue, historic district. Never spent a night in it. We moved in with her mama to take care of mama on Grant Avenue, 2 doors up from Bill Randall. This bride had a big time stroke. Okay. When my mama died in 1996, she left me some money. But she left the money with her attorney. The only way I could get the money was build a house. We built a house in Hudson Estate across from Porter School, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. All right. Her mama was stayed on the first floor. The first floor of the house is handicap accessible. All right. Nobody's ever me and Sheila now, so we need to sell that house. The light bill $700 a month. The bottom line is Miss Bryant had her own room downstairs, bathroom and bedroom. She wanted to go to a nursing home. I didn't want her to go to a nursing home. She didn't want to go to a nursing home, but she wanted to go to a nursing home. Now, Sheila sleeps in that room. I sleep upstairs because the phone rang all the time. I took a vow to Sheila. I know what you're saying, Emily. I took the vow to Sheila, not Miss Brown. But him being a husband, he needs to get the hell over it and be a man and do what he's supposed to do.
But
Okay,
see,
if the house, wait a minute, let me finish. All right, I'm the caller. All right, if the house smell like a hospital, get the hell over it. Put some air freshener and Lysol in it. That's your mother-in-law. Act like it's your mother-in-law.
I know
All right,
that's right.
Go ahead, Emily.
Hey, what if it was the mother-in-law that didn't want her daughter to marry that guy
Johnny
and
Hush.
hated that guy? And now
Johnny, that's irrelevant. All right, that's done deal. We're not talking about that. We talking about a lady that's bedridden that needs some care. Go ahead, Emily.
Oh no, that was actually Brenda that interrupted you. That wasn't
My
me.
point to you, Johnny.
look at she threw
Wait,
you right up
just
under
for the
bus.
record, that was Brenda that was trying to cut you off. That wasn't me.
But you know
All
what,
right, go ahead, brother.
Leon, that's what Henry did. Henry, when we bought our house, he made sure that Mama had a room, and she's our situation is like your situation in that Mama is away from the rest of the family in her own little space. And that's what I was suggesting to your friend is to put her mama upstairs.
Or put them in a room if they don't have an upstairs or downstairs.
Put in a room. But put her, because it's unfortunate that she may not be able to move around the way she wants, but if she was in a nursing home, it'd be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Okay, Brenda, let me tell you something. We got all kind of technology right now. You know, Miss Glover, that's retired educator.
I do.
Yeah. It was a bunch of sisters. The first time I saw a sliding wheelchair was in her her brother's mother-in-law house over on Knightsbridge or somewhere over there by Elaine Lucas' house. And I saw one last week when a lady died over in King Alfred. You could buy a wheelchair where you can sit in and press a button and slide upstairs. So that's no excuse.
Oh, well then you know what? When we get off air, tell me where that is.
Yeah, my grandfather had that. He had one built in for my mom, my grandmother.
Mama can't slide, but you and I talk off offline.
You can sit in a chair and press a button. I forget the name of it. It
Super
goes
cool.
upstairs and goes down. So let me tell you something. The bottom line is do what you're supposed to do and quit whining as a husband.
Oh,
well, Henry ain't whining, but you know what though? I do understand.
I ain't talking about Henry. I'm talking about the other guy. Okay.
But you know what though? He tried to hold.
Sheila says all the time.
Huh?
Sheila says all the time. Everybody's not like you, Leon. I get that. I understand that. I'm not stupid, but do what you need to do and move on.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Leon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Leon. You have a good one. I appreciate you sharing. I need to talk to you offline so I can see if you can help me get this stuff out there for Mama.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
But you know, let me just tell you, Johnny, I got what you're saying because I do. I mean, I love my mother and everything. I just know that hospital smell. I mean, I know Leon and everything till I get over it, but you know, it would work my nerve.
But I think I do agree with Leon. You know, it's most often easier said than done. I'm sure, like you said, Johnny, the guy's in a turmoil.
Yeah.
It's, you know, he loves his wife. He doesn't want to divorce his wife. So I get it.
And I think economics have a lot to do with
yeah.
people's take on things too.
Right.
It's like if you got a certain amount of money, you could afford certain things.
Right.
Then you're saying, "Oh, no problem, bring her on in." But if you don't have those kinds of things,
Johnny,
and you don't have the space, hold on, Brenda.
That's
If you don't have the space to do it, I think this is where practicality has to come in, and we have to be honest with ourselves. In the Black community, and that's one of the reasons we're gonna have Miss Virginia Sharp on next Monday. One of the issues that plagues our community is we put the burden of ourselves on our children, on our loved ones. And, you know, part of me, I get it because we are raised that way in the Black community. But at the end of the day, I stress this on the show. Put the person where they will be best cared for.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you have a full-time job and your home depends on that full-time job, if you know you have children and you got soccer practice and football practice and chili, et cetera, you have to do what's going to be best for your mother or for your loved one. And if you can't give that person the around-the-clock proper care that they need, they should be in a facility where they can get the proper care. And that's where we have to be practical and not work off of our emotions. And I think that is the hardest thing for us to do in the Black community, because we are raised that don't you put your mama in no nursing home, don't you put your dad in no nursing home. You know, I was raised that way. I was raised by a baby boomer. Y'all were raised that way. So I get it. But at the end of I've told my mother, now hopefully she'll never have to go into a nursing home. I said, but if it gets to the point where I cannot give you what I know you need, we're gonna either have to call somebody in or we're gonna have to put you where you can get the around the clock care that you need.
And let me just say, with this gentleman, you know, I don't know what's going on in his house, but he may need to talk to Miss Sharp and to see, because the services they have, they offer somebody to come in and clean a little bit and cook a little bit and things like that. But it's, if they have a room, and I bet you they do, and it's upstairs, and they have children. The other piece of this,
well, Johnny, how old is his children? Do you know?
He probably can't say on air. I don't know.
I mean, are they children or are they adults? That's all I'm asking.
They are. They're not little kids,
but they like maybe.
And they're not grown.
Yeah, so
you know, they're probably teens. He ain't said it.
Transitioning.
Saying, you know, and let me just say,
into adulthood.
When you have children at the house, and the children typically, and this is where I see where his issue is. I would have it. I'm just gonna take Denver, because she's 10, 11, 12, and the kids are coming in and out of the house. They have their little friends and stuff that come.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing for them to come in with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a truth. You don't like it, but it's a truth. And it's just and so no, I wouldn't want my living room turned into a hospital room.
Well, because the living room is a communal space. The living room is a space for the whole family to come together, to relax, to watch a movie, to talk about whatever's happened. The dinner table is a communal area, for the family to come together. So I completely understand why he would have an issue with her being in the living room. And I've seen it before, so I know exactly what you're talking about, where the living room has become like the hospital bed is in the middle of the living room floor. And so on and so forth.
And the porta potty is over here. And then when you have somebody come in for dinner, typically right off of that is going to be the kitchen. So it's just a bad situation.
So I guess my suggestion,
I would put
to you to maybe have your friend to see if there's a spare bedroom, not a spare one, but just a bedroom. Maybe whoever is left in the house, children wise, they can bunk up for the next couple of years until they leave or go off to college or whatever. Maybe they can bunk up, give the empty room to the mother. That way, like Brenda said, if they were in a nursing home, it would be that they would have their own private space, because at the end of the day, have you ever walked in a nursing home and they had the patients in the middle of the community center area? Like it's kind of, it's a reason why they need privacy. And I would assume that mother-in-law probably wants some privacy. I couldn't imagine being a female and having to all of that going on out in the open all the time, 24/7, even being sickly and even being, whether it's a stroke or whatever, every person deserves privacy and decency and dignity. And so I would think that person would want some privacy.
And so
that would be my suggestion, was just to see if there are multiple children or multiple young adults, if they can, maybe bunk together in a room for a year or two until they leave, so that room becomes empty if there are no other rooms.
And the other thing,
that'll kind of confine that situation so everybody's comfortable and that person now has some dignity and some privacy.
And I would say that I do feel very strongly about it, because I was just thinking, I said, and then too, if they have a family meetings are very, very important, because that's one of the things that we're talking about in our family is, Denver, are you going to be able to help me with grandma? Meaning that, will you help me by bringing her water, or bringing her things and things like that, because I got a bad knee and Henry's got a bad knee. So we're going to need you to help us out a little bit with taking care of grandma. And so that'll relieve some of the pressure for me having to run up and down the steps with food items, maybe just to clean her or whatever like that. But
so you need the chair that slides.
No, Mom, I don't know.
No, I'm saying, Brenda, it would make it easy for you. To slide up. They hit the button and just slide. Here I come, Mama.
Because it like my grandfather had one built in for my grandmother, and Leon is right. They sit in the chair and they hit this little button, and it's just like an elevator. It just pushes them all. They ride it all the way up to the top of the steps, and they have a walker or a cane or whatever at the top of the steps, and that keeps them from having to go up and down the step. And when we was kids, we used to get in and ride up and down.
I'm sure y'all thought y'all was at the amusement park.
We ride up and down that
y'all
thing.
are going, but I think that this.
We did.
I'm glad you brought it up as a subject matter, because she said most husbands are very considerate of their sick. Most men, and I'm going to say this, I'm going out on a limb, men are very, very attached to their mamas, and they'll be there to take care of mama when they won't take care of daddy. Now I'm telling you, ain't that right, Jimmy? You'll be there to take care of your mama. Your mama, if something happened to your mama, that's it. You're going to take her wherever you go, aren't you? Yeah. And I ain't putting them on the spot with it. That's one thing about a boy. Boy, do it now.
Well, it's usually the dad's part of daughters, and then the mamas,
and let me tell you, and she said most but most husbands are considered a sick mama and make allowances for her. I think that this guy also, I bet you money, you ain't told me, Johnny, because I have no idea. For y'all that are listening, I don't know who it is, but I know that I feel like this sometimes. You just want peace in your house.
Yeah, and then it comes down
to
Emily's talking about emotionality versus practicality. And I think that's the big conflict with the husband and the wife. And sometimes emotionality is really not the right way to go for the situation. But you know, but that's my mama, and you get caught up in it. That's my daddy, and really practically, if it ain't practical, it really ain't spiritual in my book. And so practical really wins out.
And you're right. And then too, you know, I'm old. I'm going on 68. By the way, I'll be 68 on Wednesday. Wednesday's my birthday.
Oh, birthday!
You know, and
she sneaked that information in.
But when
surprise party.
When you get to be this age, you know, there's only, I can't roll. You know, I can't pick up. I can't do a lot of the things that I really used to do when I was younger in terms of taking care of, you know, even taking care of mama. I'm going to do the best I can. But I'm really glad that you brought up the subject. And let me just say, go back to where the grown children come in. A lot of times, now you ain't told me this, but I'm going to ask you this question. Perhaps you know, where the other children at? I know that, is that girl the only child that woman has, or is it some other children?
Oh, you talking about the first example? No, it's the father is his daughter.
No. The second example of the house. Is there any other siblings that are part of that family?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, typically the reason why I ask is always one that take care of everybody else, and the other ones sit back and become backseat drivers, and they don't do nothing but sit back and wait on them to transition so they can have their hand poked out.
And then it's always some that step up and do that so they think they can be in control of the money. They really don't do it from the heart. They do it from the vantage point of making sure they're the ones who can put the hand in the jar first. It's a lot of stuff that go on in real life that we really are not comfortable talking about.
But that's what we do on this show. We talk about it all. But it's so many people, and I have seen it. I have seen cases where one of them was the one who gave up everything to go and take care of mama or daddy. And then after mama just would not fix them papers.
Right.
You know, listen, y'all, fix them papers. Would not fix those papers. And so when she died or he died, they divided up everything, and they pushed the one who took care of mama, who gave up everything, out the house. They push him out and don't care. So that's why I'm kind of glad that you brought it up. And also, as far as like taking care of the person, I've seen it more than one time. They'll come around the house like they're trying to help you, and then they be around there, they ain't helping, they looking for the papers so they can change them. And hide the papers, something like that. Yeah. Ain't that right, Sheila? You know what I'm talking about. She talking about, yes, they do. They so low down there, take them wheels and tear them up, or tear them and so they can have that old power of attorney, Johnny. You know, the one that their guy fixed first with the children that was in charge. They'll be around there trying to help the wife and everything. Find the latest one he had, rip it up. Unless he filed it with the probate court, don't nobody know nothing about it. Take it and rip it all up so that them children could be in charge. By the way, I can't.
My ex, he had his mother passed away, and it was really, really sad because his sister had I guess a grudge. I don't know if that would be the right word, but she held a grudge against him for years because she was the one that had to pretty much see about their mother throughout all her sicknesses and et cetera. So she was gravely upset when it got down to the will, and she realized that the will was supposed to be, or what she left was supposed to be left between him and her, and I believe any of her living siblings, which was one brother. So she was so upset that she didn't even come to her own mother's funeral. And she was mad because somebody found the will. My ex actually found the will because she did not know that. Let me finish. She did not know that there was a will that was left with the funeral home. Because back in the day, they used to like, this is my funeral home that I'm gonna use, and they they stuck to it for 20 or 30 years. This is my funeral home. So there was a will left with the funeral home director that the sister did not know about. And so when they went to the funeral, my ex knew. He went to the funeral home, got the actual real copy of the will that was notarized, et cetera, et cetera. And so the sister was so upset that she didn't come to her own mother's funeral.
Wow.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal. And then Sheila says, she said, I gave care, but the one who didn't was left the executor. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Wow.
She was the one who took care of mama or dad, whoever your loved one was. But the other one who didn't do nothing, okay, didn't do a thing, was the one who was left the executor of the will. And I'm telling you, I see it all the time. I know of a case whereas the person got sick, had gotten remarried, like you said. I don't know if he left the children in charge or what, but anyway, the children was in charge. They told her, get out the house.
The wife.
That's right. He wasn't even dead yet. Get out the house. Get out the house now. And took the house and put it up for sale and said, look, if he don't get better in 30 days, we're going to take him and put him in the home.
Wow.
The children. So they can get his money. So I'm just telling you.
Because they knew that they had to sell their house before they put him in the home, because that way they couldn't take the house at the nursing home.
But what he did, he would have signed the house over to him, but still, whatever you do, you got to do it within 5 years so they still can get it. But that the dirty stuff though is what Sheila is talking about, is that when these kids and stuff, and I'm just gonna say some of these kids, the other, when they've been married 2 times and they mad because of the way that he treated their mama or something like that, shoot, man, they'll come back at you like you wouldn't know it and try to come and get you. And so, that was just a great comment. Let me see. I just met with the family with the same thing. See what she's talking about? Oh, yeah. And by the way, I already know that I'm going to be the one to take care of my mama. And I got to figure it out. And, lucky for me, we'll have Virginia on next week to talk about the resources that are available. But there are some resources, and I don't want to mess it up, that, that if a family member stay home and take care of the family member, they can make about $1,800 a month. That's not a lot of money, but that's enough for you to pay a little something with their Social Security. You take and combine those 2 things together, you can pay somebody to kind of help you so you can get a break. And I don't know if it pays for respite care and stuff like that. So, it's a very interesting topic to talk about. Those second marriages are something else. And what you're talking about is something else, because it's a hard thing. I feel sorry for him. And also I feel sorry for her, for the daughter who's having to deal with that. And them children too. Can you imagine how stressful it is over that house smelling like that? I know what you're saying, Leon, but it does something. When I go in a nursing home, it do something to my stomach. Like what you do, and how do you deal with that? And then too, you feel bad. You know what I mean? Because I felt horrible having to put mom in a nursing home. But it was nothing I could do.
What made you feel bad about it?
Because that's my mama.
The emotional part,
that's my mama. And I felt like, if things were different, she would never have put me in a nursing home. And if she had to, whatever it took to lift me up, that's what mama would do to keep me from going. And so I had to do what I had to do. But this thing that's going on at the nursing home, let me just say, I went to the nursing home this weekend to visit someone. And this particular nursing home, now y'all know these people old, really old. And a lot of them don't have no teeth and stuff like that. If they have teeth, they have issues. And then they have had a stroke and they can't really lift, hold the food up. So I'm trying to think, I want you to think about the people who are actually in a nursing home and the type of disabilities they may have. How about they serve them? Now, these black folk, it was a few white people, but these were mostly black people. Why are you giving them a fried egg roll?
A fried egg roll?
Listen, John, I'm serious. It was fried hard too. a fried egg roll,
This lady here, man.
and then it had some
But Brenda, some of them, when they after your
Johnny,
teeth are out for long enough, your gums get hard enough.
Johnny, you know, let me just say, my mama ain't gonna eat that mess. And they had some had some rice, and I said they should have just cooking a pot of stew beef or something like that and put that on. They would have eaten that, you know, like. But then it had some type of red.
They want to eat soup every day.
No, it had like some little red. I don't know, like
it's called duck sauce.
Yeah, on that. And my mama ain't gonna eat that.
She's just it's a matter of fact.
Then they had the mixed vegetables, and then they gave him some green sherbet.
Silly child.
Then they gave him some green sherbet, and then some iced tea.
They had some lemon lime sherbet.
Child, let me tell you something. So the person I went to see,
lime sherbet.
Listen, Johnny,
it's good, Brenda.
Johnny, the person I went to see had a stroke, so they couldn't live. You know, they already couldn't eat with it, so they couldn't hold the egg roll to bite it. And then they had some teeth missing, so it was hard for them to chew it because it was hard. I'm like, you know, these people have problems with diet. Why are you serving them some stuff like that? Chicken a la king. You right. Sheila, it was beef. It was beef. But it was horrible.
Well, beef was easier.
But look, it was horrible. And my point to you is a lot of the people that are in these facilities and things like that, you know, I don't know. I've been trying to get them out from it. Let me just say, when I saw that, I said, my mama can't be up in
Really, there's enough of that.
What?
Now, speaking of eating, go to 1224 Eisenhower Parkway and go to Anderson Country Kitchen. The food is off the chain.
They
the
got
lines
some soft
are
vegetables.
Oh yeah, they got everything for the elderly, the young.
Look,
1224 Anderson's Country Kitchen. Going over there, get some good food.
When my mama come home, I'm
over there, see Larry.
I'm gonna cook us some
Jasmine
peas.
and
I'm gonna cook us some peas and cornbread.
Peas and cornbread.
Yeah, I'm gonna fry some cornbread.
Not pancakes. Southerners
it's called
whole cake, Johnny cake. It is a pancake.
It's a whole cake.
Cornbread is cornbread.
No, it's called a whole cake bread.
It's a whole cake.
It's a whole
cake. It's not cornbread.
Whole cake bread.
We're gonna fight later about this cornbread.
It's not cornbread.
Thank you. Who's that? We're so glad to be on today. We got some. Oh yeah, he got some information about selling.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.